I welcome in the course of Geotechnical Engineering second. So in the last class I have discussed about the Geotechnical Engineering first, and in Geotechnical Engineering first I have discussed the index properties of soil, classification of soil, and then compaction of soil, and then uh, a principle of effective stress, capillarity and permeability, then seepage through soil and vertical stress below the applied load. So in this course, I will discuss the compressibility of soil and consolidation, then shear strength of soil, and then I will discuss stability of slope, and then uh, earth pressure and retaining wall, and in the last I will discuss the soil exploration. So today I will discuss the compressibility of soil and consolidation. So let us start about the firstly I will discuss about the syllabus. So in the syllabus in module 1 I will discuss the consolidation of soil. In consolidation of soil I will discuss the introduction and comparison between compaction and consolidation, what is initially primary and secondary consolidation, then spring analogy of primary consolidation, then interpretation of consolidation test result, Terzaghi theory of consolidation, and final settlement of soil deposit, computation of consolidation settlement and secondary consolidation. After that in module 2 I will discuss the shear strength, and in shear strength I will discuss what is Mohr circle and its characteristics, principal plane, relation between major and minor principal stress, what is Mohr Coulomb theory, and what are the different type of tests like direct shear test, triaxial test, and what is unconfined compressive strength test and bend shear test, and different type of tests like unconsolidated undrained, consolidated undrained, and consolidated drained test. In module 3 I will discuss the stability of slope, and in this module I will discuss the introduction, type of slope and their failure mechanism, factor of safety, analysis of finite and infinite slope, and then I will discuss the wedge failure, Swedish circle method, friction circle, and stability numbers and charts. In module 4 I will discuss the soil exploration. In this module I will discuss the introduction, method of site exploration, soil investigation, method of boring and soil samplers, sample procedure, and then trail pits and boring method, and penetrometer test, and analysis of borehole logs, and geophysical and advanced soil exploration method. And in the last module I will discuss the application of soil mechanics to determine the lateral earth pressure, and analysis of retaining wall cuts, excavation and sheet pile, stability of slope, and uh, instrumentation. So I will recommend this book for this course references. So soil mechanics by Craig RF, and then this is the principle of geotechnical engineering by Bajra M and Das. So this book I will recommend. So now I am going to start the compressibility and consolidation. Compressibility of soil, compressibility of soil and consolidation. So what is compressibility? So compressibility is the decrease in the volume of soil when we apply load on the soil, and consolidation is when we apply load on the saturated soil sample, there is a expulsion of pore water. It's called consolidation. So compressibility can be classified as compressibility, initial compression, and the second part is consolidation. And this consolidation is further classified into two parts, primary consolidation and secondary consolidation. So what's the initial compression? Initial compression is the it is an instantaneous phenomenon. When we apply load, then there is a expulsion of pore air, instantaneous instantaneous phenomena, and when we apply load on the soil, then there is a expulsion of pore air. It's called initial compression. So consolidation is further classified. Consolidation is further classified into two types. The first one is primary consolidation, that is also called 1-degree consolidation. It is also called 1-degree consolidation. And the second one is secondary consolidation, that is called 2-degree consolidation. So what is primary consolidation? When we apply load on the saturated soil sample, there is a expulsion of pore water. Expulsion of pore water. And here, after the primary consolidation, there is a decrease in volume of soil due to the rearrangement of soil molecules. It's called secondary consolidation. Compressibility decrease in the volume of soil when we apply load on the soil, and decrease in volume is mainly due to expulsion of pore air, expulsion of pore water, then plastic rearrangement or readjustment of soil. And decrease in volume is also due to the expulsion of pore air, compression of pore air, compression of pore water, and plastic readjustment. So these are the mainly reason when we apply load on the soil, so there is a decrease in volume of soil. So here I have written what is initial compression. So initial compression is the instantaneous process which occurs immediately after the loading and is due to the compression and expulsion of pore air. Similarly, the primary consolidation after the initial compression, it begins when soil reaches to full saturation after expulsion of pore air and remains saturated during entire process of primary consolidation. It is also called 1-degree consolidation, and primary consolidation completes when expulsion of pore water stops, and it is a time dependent phenomenon. Secondary consolidation, it starts after completion of primary consolidation, and volume change is due to the plastic rearrangement of soil molecules. In coarse soil, generally gravel and sand, secondary consolidation is insignificant, but in highly plastic clay, secondary consolidation is significant. So if I talk about the saturated sand and clay, let us This is the sample saturated sand. The thickness of saturated sand is H0, and this is delta sigma dash. This is sand, and the second sample of same height or same thickness, let us assume. Delta sigma dash, this is clay of same thickness H0. So rate of consolidation, if I talk about the rate of consolidation, so rate of consolidation will be high in sand as compared to clay. Why? Because the permeability of sand is much greater than as compared to the clay. We know that the permeability of clay is very less as compared to the sand. That's why the rate of consolidation in sand is very much high as compared to the clay. But the total settlement, if I talk about the total settlement, so total settlement in clay is greater than sand. Why? Because of voids ratio. So void ratio is very high in clay as compared to the sand. That's why total settlement in clay is very high as compared to the sand. So that's why in consolidation generally we talk about the clay as compared to the sand. So total settlement, if I talk, what is total settlement? So total settlement of soil, that is ST, is the sum of immediate settlement plus primary consolidation settlement plus secondary consolidation settlement. This is the total settlement of soil. SI is the immediate settlement, or also called elastic settlement, because this settlement is computed by using elastic theory. So elastic settlement. S1 is the primary consolidation settlement. Similarly, S2 degree is the secondary consolidation settlement. So I will discuss in detail what is primary consolidation settlement and secondary consolidation settlement in this topic, and before that I will discuss what is immediate settlement or elastic settlement. So immediate or elastic settlement. So let us take a footing. Let us assume this is our footing. This is our footing, and this is the soil. Let small q be the applied pressure. Small q be the applied pressure on the footing, and the soil has the property nu is the Poisson's ratio, Es is the Young's modulus of the soil, nu is the Poisson's ratio of soil, Poisson's ratio of soil, Es is the Young's modulus of soil, and let us assume B is the width of the footing. So the elastic settlement or instantaneous settlement, it is independent of time, and generally this settlement is applicable for the granular soil. So the expression of immediate settlement can be computed by elastic theory. Immediate settlement is equal to Q into B 1 minus nu square divided by ES into IF. So this is the expression of immediate settlement or elastic settlement, where SI is the immediate or elastic settlement. This type of settlement generally we generally computed just application of the load on the footing. Q is the applied pressure on the footing. B is the width of the footing. Nu is the Poisson's ratio of soil, and ES is the Young's modulus of elasticity, Young's modulus of soil, and IF is the influence factor. IF is the influence factor, and this influence factor depends on the shape of footing and rigidity of the footing. Means what is the shape of footing, whether it is circular, square or rectangle, and then whether it is flexible footing or rigid footing. So this influence factor is the function of shape and rigidity of the footing. So this influence factor can be computed as here I have shown for flexible foundation and rigid foundation. So if our shape of the footing is circular, then at the center the value of IF for the flexible foundation is 1, and at corner it is 0.64. If I take the average value, so it is 0.85, and for rigid foundation it is 0.86. Similarly, for a square footing, at the center it is 1.12, and at corner it is 0.56, and if I take the average, so it is 0.95, and for rigid foundation the IF value is 0.82. Similarly, I have written the value of IF value for the flexible and rigid foundation for different L by B ratio. Like when the footing is rectangular and L by B is 1.5, L by B is 2, 5, 10 and 100, then the value I have written at center and corner, and similarly for the rigid foundation. So this is the expression. With the help of this expression we can compute the immediate or elastic settlement. So let us take the one problem related to this. A footing 4 meter by 2 meter in plan transmits a pressure of 150 kN per meter square on a cohesive soil, having Young's modulus is 6 into 10 to the power 4 kN per meter square, and Poisson's ratio is 0.5. Determine the immediate settlement of the footing at the center, assuming it to be a flexible footing, and the second for the rigid footing. So if I make the footing, this is the footing, (150 kilonewton per meter square). Width of the footing is 2 meter, and we have to find the settlement. ES is 6 into 10 to the power 4 kilonewton per meter square. Poisson's ratio is 0.5. So firstly, it is a rectangular footing. Rectangular footing having L by B is 4 by 2 is 2. So for L by B is equal to 2, the influence factor can be computed for the immediate at the center. So here with the help of chart, when L by B is 2 and at the center for flexible footing it is 1.52 and for rigid footing it is 1.2. So IF is 1.52 for flexible footing and it is 1.2 for rigid footing. So firstly I will compute the for flexible footing. So A part, flexible footing. So immediate settlement is Q into B 1 minus nu square divided by ES into influence factor. So Q is how much? 150 kilonewton per meter square. So 150 into 2 into 1 minus 0.5 whole square divided by Young's modulus is 6 into 10 to the power 4. 6 into 10 to the power 4 into influence factor for flexible footing is 1.52. So if I compute this value, so this value is 150 into 2 into 1.52 into 1 minus 0.5 whole square divided by 6 into 10 to the power 4. So it is coming 5.7 into 10 to the power minus 3 meter. 5.7 into 10 to the power minus 3 meter, or we can say 5.7 mm. Similarly, we can compute the immediate settlement for rigid foundation. The same expression will be used except the influence factor. Q into B 1 minus nu square by ES into influence factor. So Q is 150 into 2 into 1 minus 0.5 whole square divided by 6 into 10 to the power 4. Influence factor is 1.2, so it is 1.2. So we can compute. So it is coming 4.5 into 10 to the power minus 3. 4.5 into 10 to the power minus 3 meter. So it is coming 4.5 mm. So here we can see that the settlement of the footing is more in flexible footing as compared to the rigid footing.